Okay, it's VOD review time, and I've got one of the worst deck, one of the best worst decks I've ever made. So it's a discard deck. It still has Siri Dash. In fact, the entire game plan revolves around Siri Dash winning the third round practically by herself. So, so I went a little overboard with customizing this deck, and that game right up there in the Gwent tracker, that's completely false because I made adjustments to the previous deck and I carried over the stats. And I don't want to erase them yet because I'm going to change it back later. But anyway, so this new deck, I took out the Queen's Guards. I took out the Queen's Guards. I limited myself to 2 Priestesses of Freya, and then I added in a bunch of skirmishers, the ones that gain strength when discarded. I added another one of this Raider, and I also added 2. I forget. Anyway, so basically the whole. Oh yeah, and I added the silver guy that lets you discard another card, but he's like a spy. So, so in doing so, my goal was to get the maximum amount of discard synergy, right? So you can see the deck list called discard everything. So basically, by the end of the game, I can consistently get down to 3 to 5 cards. So in doing so, I exponentially increase my chance. I exponentially increase my chance to get Siri Dash, as opposed to before when I had the Queen's Guards and various other adjustments. I would always end up with like 8 to 10 cards at the end of the game. That was obviously a very low chance of actually drawing to Siri Dash. So basically, almost every time I draw a Siri Dash in the last round. That's basically my whole goal. So the first round starts out just like normal. I kind of play cards. I try and discard as much as I can. I don't necessarily want to win it unless I'm going up against like this deck, the spell scoi'tael. I try and draw as many cards as I can, but don't expect to win against Nilfgaard and Dwarf scoi'tael, while also trying to keep their dwarves in check. And I do actually do that a lot through Donar and Hindar. Now, I don't actually have any removal because I took out Igni, but I feel like I can still do this. Also, I don't know if I ever recorded this, but I also tried a Ceres deck, Cerys, that gold card. With Queen's Guard, I couldn't get it really to work. I might try again, but I kind of skipped over that in my days of playing because of the patch. I was going to do one yesterday, but anyway. So, uh, So this deck actually works really well, I think, against weather because a lot of the units I'm playing are pretty much worthless. Like this Raider, right? That's just a card that I get practically for free. Similarly, Morgvarg is he's just gonna respawn as soon as he gets destroyed. The Pirate Raider guy is just to thin my deck as much as I possibly can. And Donar and Hindar, all these cards right here. And Donar and Hindar makes the spell scoi'tael lose their weather effects. So this also really works well against weather monster. So this is almost like an anti-weather deck, kind of. Except I don't think I had 3 first lights, and also I don't have the cards like Nilfgaard that can clear weather in a row. So it's not purely trash all the weather decks, but it's pretty good against it. And I think it's pretty good against like Nilfgaard and scoi'tael decks that aren't let's say competitive level, like they don't have all the right cards, and I can kind of beat up on that. But that's just saying, like, I'm just using like an over quote unquote statted deck with an expensive deck to beat up on these. So this is a bad deck. Don't try and use this to climb the ladder. This is purely for fun. It's still pretty formulaic. I noticed that you can get pretty unlucky with draw sometimes. I think that's probably the biggest thing outside of just not getting a ton of value and being relatively easy to counter. Like, this deck just doesn't have all that much power. It kind of lies in being able to have a stable win condition, but that win condition isn't very good. So basically, like I said earlier, it's all revolving around Siri Dash. If you can't draw Siri Dash in all 3 rounds, her power is going to be hindered by quite a lot. And also, I just played a game before this one. I actually lost, and it was a lot less interesting. It didn't have a big impact, but I actually got my Siri Dash up to 19. No, I got it up to 23 points. I didn't get to play it on the last turn, but I got up to 19 points. It would have been amazing if I got it 23. But see, that's kind of the thing. If you can get this deck to like optimal levels, it's like the most broken thing ever because you can't really counter a gold except through shackles. I think is it only the bronze card shackles that can actually counter a gold card? That may be right. I don't know. But yeah, it's really difficult to it's difficult to beat. Since it's a gold card, it's really good against weather. It's good against anything that has a lot of control elements. Like Nilfgaard has some control elements. consume monsters, can mess up with your graveyard. But see, the thing is, that's another thing. I really like that I don't have to rely on my graveyard to actually get to my win condition. Again, I'm saying win condition a lot. Basically, that's what this whole deck is all about. It's all about that singular way to win, as opposed to other decks which kind of have a lot of different avenues that can snake their way into it. Kind of like the spell scoi'tael deck, right? Their whole deal is to use as many spells as possible and get these 3 cards out, right? These 3 19 strength growing cards, right? Or like Reaver Hunter, which is the one thing you want to do is play your Reaver Hunters. And then we go into the third round, and things are getting a little bit tricky, right? I'm not drawing to the Siri. I need that Siri. There it is. And I'm kind of getting scared here for a second, and I'm down to my last silver card, right? The one last chance to try and draw to Siri, the 33% chance. But I had to give up my first light, which means I give up that that whatchamacallit, the 15 strength or whatever clan pirate captain. And also this is pretty unlucky for him. He has to go first and he has to play that the 2 strength gold card, which is effectively useless unless she can actually play something. And even if she did play something like a weather effect, it wouldn't matter in their Seer Dash because I would have my gold card and it wouldn't matter. So there we go. And that's how I ended this game with my 15 strength Seer Dash. That would have been completely invulnerable to any kind of weather effect or anything like that. It's fantastic. Even against this 15 strength card. I'm Gucci, man. Okay, so again, this deck is terrible. Please do not try it. Unless you already have all these cards already and you just want to have some fun. That's pretty much all that it really is. It's just having fun getting those ridiculously high strength series on turns 2 and 3. If you can manage to get the discards right in the first round. But that's it. Just a fun deck to try out. Thanks for watching.